All right, how's everybody doing? Today's episode is a very interesting and very special episode to me in particular. Today we'll be presenting MP4s of the days of past. So, as you guys might have noticed when you were growing up, you might have seen the iPod coming out, and of course you saw these bunch of third-party products and companies coming out. Now, you may not have encountered some of these now. These were interesting because when I was in high school, my friend and I, Isaac, we were starting a small business of selling, Chinese products and bringing them over here and selling them. The only thing is that a lot of people thought they were fake because they were so great. They were amazing. Of course, the user interface were not the best, but they were amazing. So here today, I'm going to be presenting 3 versions of the MP4 players. And we'll start off first with the very first one that we ended up having, which was this. As you could tell, because iPods were very popular at the time, you'll be able to notice that this design is very similar to it. The cover, the layer is or was soft material, but within time it got sticky. I had to kind of clean it out, and even then it wasn't that great. The screen's actually of 2.5 inch, if I'm not mistaken. It's an LCD screen, so it's not an LED. You do have volume up, volume down, forward, back, and you have the the play button. So these MP4 players that I'll be showing are no longer working because I had to take the batteries out, and I'll explain to you shortly why. But let's continue with this one. So this has a couple of features, and yes, that is the beauty part of it. Did any iPod, any Apple product ever have this? No, not at all. And I'll continue explaining right now why or what made this one so amazing. So if you could tell really quick, it has the back shiny stainless steel cover. The front, of course, is the material wise. So you have a button here, and what is that? Dual auxiliary ports. Amazing. And in the bottom you have an SD card, a charger, and you have a charging port. I'm sorry, this is a USB port cable. So this right here is a one-of-a-kind product. Have you ever encountered or seen one of this? Write in the comments below and let me know. But I'll tell you something, I will tell you it's a clear no. What product have you encountered in the past? Not right now, because now everybody has one, but this one had an onboard speaker, a flash, it had a camera. It wasn't that great. If you could tell, it's a 2.0 megapixel camera, but think about it, a 2.0 megapixel camera back then on an MP4 player, anything of a product that had for music, videos, that was incredible. You had 2 buttons here, if I'm not mistaken. One of them was for menu option, while the other one was an exit, and I think, no, it doesn't say. Oh yeah, right there. So I had it wrong, I'm sorry. So this one, no, I don't think you could see it. It's a menu button, while this one here is the exit button. And here, of course, had all the features. So you had MP4, MP3 AVI. You also had SD, MMC support. You had a microphone, and that was actually right here. That's the mic. You also encounter the equalizer. So I had an onboard equalizer, and it had a USB, universal port. When we were trying to sell these in high school, people didn't really believe us because, like I mentioned, if we told them or showed them in pictures what it contained, what it had, nobody believed us. In pictures it looked Photoshop, and of course it's very true, and the photos weren't that great. I'll put some links right now and some additional photos to them, but it worked. This one in general was a 1 gigabyte, and it had FM support. So you're talking about a product here in 2000, oh my goodness, I want to say, and this is gonna say 7 or 8, when we were still in high school, 2007 or 2008. This is a product of one of a kind in 2007, 2008, that you were able to, 1, listen to music, 2, watch videos, but 3, take pictures with flash. And if you wanted to have a louder system or anything, you had an onboard speaker. And let's say, for example, you don't want any music. What do you have? You have an FM radio in here. You, of course, you would use the antenna to use it. And let's say, for example, you were listening to your favorite song, and your buddy wanted to listen to it. Boom, right there. Shared paired auxiliary ports. So 2 people were able to listen to the same song, watch the same movie through one device. Amazing. Think about the innovation or the advancements that this was back then. iPods didn't have them, no additional features had or anything like that. So you had what was considered a smartphone back then, before it was smartphone. So this is like, I guess you could say, a smart product. It had additional supportive, and I think it was, I don't remember what the support was, but you were able to put an SD card into it, and I think like 4 gigabytes. Which is still incredible. Back then, 4 gigabytes was amazing. You know, it was a lot, trust me. So this device is the first version that we ended up having, and of course later on they ended up having this version. This is of course a bit different. You're able to view the layout. Now in the display, the UI was the same thing as this one. So both of them were the exact same features, as you could tell from the back. Newer upgraded device, but it was still 2 megapixels, of course MP4, and it still had all the same features. However, as you could tell, there was an upgrade with 4 gigabytes, and you still had the supportive of, let me get this, you still had the supportive of SD card. So you're talking about having a device with 4 gigabytes and onboard additional 8 gigabytes. Of course, you know, there might have been products back then that already had, you know, more feature or more memory, but even then, did they have all of these features? You're talking once again about a camera, you're talking about an onboard flash, a speaker, FM radio, SD card support, plus dual auxiliary. I'm telling you, it was an amazing time. We were way ahead of our times. Oh, and there is an on button, which unfortunately came off during the process, and I can't find it. So let's go ahead and open this. Let's see what it looks like, or what it looked like back then. Let me just adjust the camera really quick. So I had to take the batteries off because I ended up noticing that the products were beginning to get extremely hot, and the battery ended up bulking, and I wanted to get it out before it exploded inside, especially how we've already seen with the Samsung phones that they were pretty touchy with explosives. So the back is, like I had mentioned, a stainless steel cover, and it's a pretty good cover. It's pretty durable. It doesn't bend easily. It's pretty firm. On it, of course, you have the lens for the camera, you have the lens for the flash, and the inside. Let me see if I can get a good view of this. So this is the inside. Yeah, well, when taking it off, this was actually where the battery was stuck on, and this is basically the layout. So you do have your dual auxiliary ports, you have your camera, your flash is up here, the speaker, and of course the microphone is right here. And then you have your SD card support, the buttons, menu and exit, and the microphone, the reset button. So a lot of these products did contain a reset button, and it's well known, or not well known, but of course it makes sense because they would kind of freeze. That was the downside. You would end up having, to scroll through certain sections. Let's say, for example, you're looking for a video and all of a sudden it froze again. So you'd have to get a little pen, just reset it, and it would work. It was doing a pretty good job. And of course, here's the connection ports for the batteries that I had to take off. I've been actually looking for different batteries, but I kind of stopped years ago, and I kind of forgot about these. So I've been trying to look for them again. And if you all know any kind of battery pack or anything, or something alternative to use, I'll be able to look up on your comments. And once again, the port. Now this is, of course, how old it is. This is not the USB micro, but this is a USB mini. So this is old school technology, if you could encounter, or if you could state it with the updated versions or anything. But yes, one of a kind device. And the last one I wanted to share with you was my personal favorite. This was a PSP player, and as you can tell, it's not a Sony PlayStation, but in fact it is a portable, let me see if I could get it right there, portable, there you go, multimedia player, which translates to PSP. So a multimedia player, PSP player. Yeah, makes sense, right? I mean, word by word. If you could tell, the rim around it used to be orange, and I colored it in with Sharpie. Wanted to make it look cool, so that's what I ended up doing. And of course, around here it had an orange filling as well. So the reason that this one was my favorite was because aside from having all the amazing features of this, and I'll show you right here, you had the on button, the play button, the exit button. You had the camera as well, which I lost the lens, and you had the dual auxiliary ports, plus the, what is this, the DC and the USB port. Of course, you also had the SD card supportive on and off button, but you had something that was much more amazing on this device, which is you had the ability to play games. Now, of course, you weren't going to be able to play PSP games, so you couldn't play, what are the games? Like Grand Theft Auto, or you couldn't play God of War, but you could play the original NES Super Mario, which is amazing. And it played pretty well. So you would navigate through here, of course, turning it on. The play button was the confirmation. The exit button, of course, would be the getting out. Similar features to this one. So inside, play would be, of course, to confirm. Exit would be to go back. And menu would be going to the root menu as well. And you were able to play the game pretty well. So of course, you didn't have the AB pad, but you did have up and down. And of course, these features were considered the AB. I don't remember what it was, if it was this form, so ABXY or ABXY, or what feature it was. But I mean, it worked. It had a great layout. The screen size was about the same, just a tad bit bigger or wider, but same thing with the mic in the front. Guys or gals, this here was one of the most amazing and innovative and high-tech advanced products or item that I ever had. This was way before the PlayStation. I'm sorry, not before the PlayStation. Oh my goodness, not the PlayStation, PSP. I'm sorry, what did I say? But this was a high-tech advanced products. Of course, it was Chinese made. There were all products from China. All three products were, quality-wise, light. They're not heavy. They weren't, real solid products. They were extremely light. This one was a little heavier just because of the products it contained and the battery inside, which was the heaviest part, but everything else was pretty light. Unfortunately, I don't have this one on to show you. One more thing I wanted to mention was that this one was FM radio and 4 gigabytes as well. But oh my goodness, great times. So this is the PSP player, which is the portable multimedia player, and we have MP4 players. So I just wanted to share with you a piece of technology that I had the opportunity to experience, and I wanted to share with you what used to be, high-tech aftermarket products or third-party products. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, write on the comments. I'll include some links and some photos of these products if I could find some, because apparently I couldn't really find that many. I found a similar one to this one online, which was still about $53, which I thought was a bit pricey. But you could probably look through eBay, and more than likely you'll be able to find a couple of products, maybe different form. And of course, you're still able to find this product. If you look on Amazon or eBay, you're able to find a PSP emulator form, ROMs, or anything like that. Very, 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 very similar. And of course, now you do have your camera, you do have all these other features. I just wanted to share that this here was before all those other products. Downside is with this one, you couldn't really create ROMs. It had onboard games, and those were about the only games you had, but it didn't have emulators or ROMs. These top versions did have some kind of games, but it was your basic up, down, kind of scrolling side to side. The video resolution on these wasn't great either. It was, I think, like 240. It wasn't even, or 480 or something. It wasn't like a 720 feature or anything, but you know, it did the job. It did the job. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and write them on the comment section. And thank you guys. Hope to see you guys next time. Love you guys all. You know, kisses. Take care.